Okay, so you were telling me that you've been here for 19 years. So, what do you think has been the secret to making you last so long here in San Francisco?
I think the most valuable reason why I've been staying here is honesty, true to yourself. Like everything else in life, if you like, you're passionate, and you're doing exactly what you have in your heart and you're expressing it, there's no separation, and you can last, and people feels it. Because I really always believe that food, in some respect, you are what you are eating. And so if you communicate very well your soul, your energy, and your thought and your passion through your food, people will feel it, and then you create a body, and then you stays. And after 19 years, I mean, it's a proof. I think everybody knows Baobab, and people love to come back to see us because we've been there for real.
So, that kind of goes along the line. What unique character do you think Baobab brings to this area? The unique cuisine, the nightlife. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I think it's not too hard, first of all, to see that there's only one Baobab all over the city. And I think even I've been calling sometime Los Angeles or other places around California. I think we're the only Senegalese restaurant now, for what I hear. So it's not easy. Usually, traditionally and culturally, we don't do too many restaurants because we love to cook at home. It's here I understand people have no time to cook at home because they're always running. But in our countries in West Africa, Senegal, and many other places all over West Africa, people enjoy cooking. It's part of their life, it's part of their home. And actually, the most important room, every house you go in West Africa, it's about the kitchen. People gather in the kitchen. So when you feel good at home, there's no sense to go always to a restaurant outside. Foreigners goes outside. So coming to America, I'm not surprised to see there's not too many Senegalese restaurants because everybody cooks at home. So that's one thing, a main reason why being alone creates something special in San Francisco, which is now, on the contrary, a diversity of so many restaurants, but we're the only one representing. And so that allows us, of course, with that competition, an advantage for sure to be here. But also an advantage, but a disadvantage because sometimes we don't have our Senegalese community necessarily coming for eating because they stay home. They love to cook at home. So we rely on a lot of other communities to come and support us. And believe it or not, I've seen so many people who went to West Africa, and when they came back, of course, they come to see us from the Peace Corps and so forth, and all these nonprofit organizations. So people always tell us, you have to go nowhere, you have to stay here, we love you. And through all the things that have been in San Francisco over 19 years I've been here, we've always been going successful. And so I'm proud of it.
So, is that part of the reason that you opened Bissap Baobab? Is it because there wasn't a representation here? Was it just a dream to open a restaurant? What made you open?
Not at all. Believe it or no, when I came here, I just came as a little guy who was only 21 years old, arriving and wanted to go to school and had the dream of being maybe working for the stock market or doing something different, coming to do finance. But then everyone that I used to meet used to ask me this question, where are you from? And I was like, from West Africa. But I was trying to talk to understand, no, where are you from, Marco? And what are you studying? What are you doing in Senegal? What is your culture? Oh, you speak French. Oh, you do that. So all these questions kind of start changing my mind, going backward and say, hey, wait a minute. There's something to always explain to everyone, which is not at all what I was planning to come and do in here. But by explaining everyone, people would kind of allow me to create this path where eventually they would have the answers and not having to say it every day to everyone, but just showing it. So it become to be, of course, food, but then music, celebration, culture, what we call in Senegal, teranga, hospitality. And then I start to recreate that in my house first, and all my friends used to come and see me. And eventually one day, friends said, why don't you do something? Why don't you do something? That wasn't in my plan at all. And eventually when I did, it became successful. Go to the kitchen. In a West African culture, the ladies are cooking. And for a guy to try to put his hand in the food was kind of a disrespect of the ladies. And especially in a family where I had 4 sisters, plus my mom, plus my grandma, imagine. So I became a referee because all my sisters used to ask me who cooked the best. And I didn't want to upset any one of them. So everyone has a particular advantage by doing something special. So I developed my tongue and my taste as a referee and knowing exactly what I liked. And eventually when I came to America and I started doing cooking, they came kind of tell me, "You a cook?" And I say, "Yeah." And when they came by, they all get all surprised and say, "Unbelievable! It looks like my dish." And I'm, "Yes, that's what you guys trained me by when I was a baby."
Perfect. Hold on. I'm gonna wait for that phone to stop ringing. So can you tell me about some of the events that tie you to the community, like Carnival and other things that you help support and host here?
Yeah, I mean, again, Baobab is not only a place only where you can eat. You come, you eat, you gather, you celebrate, you share, and in the same time, you dance. So after all these years, I have to really mention about something which is typical of Senegal, which is teranga. I just mentioned the name, which is hospitality, which is how to host people and receive people and share with people. So everybody understood that quickly and came to see me, and it became kind of a little carrefour where people from nonprofit used to come and see me for so many years, and I've been helping ongoing my neighbors. So by exchanging, I become kind of like a Facebook platform, but on a real life, and people coming to see me. So we've been doing fundraising, helping nonprofit all over, artists, musicians. Everybody felt the heart beating inside the Baobab and came to bring their sorrow, their joy, their life. And so that's what we're doing. We're doing so many kind of more events than just eating. The food carries on, but we can see dance, celebration, and then we did a lot of fundraising, especially for some people who were really needed. We've even been giving food outside so many times. And so all these years now, people know us as a place. Sometimes like, "Hey, how do you do to stay in business? You're kind of giving everything you're doing." And I, well, believe it or not, the profit in life is not about what you see in your account. The profit in life is how you feel people happy around you, and that's why we can stay and be real. And eventually, that's why people know us today again.
Right. And one last question I have for you. Can you tell me about a favorite memory?
Ooh, a favorite memory. I mean, in 19 years, I would say there's so many beautiful memories that I have here. So many of it. I mean, I love to look in the past. One day I had a very good friend who came in, a guy barefoot who walked into my place, and I didn't know him, and we started talking, and he was like telling me, "Hey, my brother, I can help you to do something to make your place happen," because the neighborhood was very rough at the beginning when I was there. There was nobody walking to 19th Street. I was alone, and sometimes I had only one or two customers there. And this guy, very tall guy, came barefoot walking, and he looked at me and he said, "Well, you make me proud to see you coming all the way from Africa and showing us here to doing a business. Let me help you to do a show." And I said, "Who is this guy?" And eventually I said, "Hey, if you know people, why don't you help me?" And then he said, "Okay." And the next day, we had about 500 people outside in the street trying to come inside the place. And I said, "Who is this guy? Is he a god? Who is he?" And then I discovered that he was Michael Franti from Spearhead. That's where I met this guy, very famous. And eventually I didn't know, and he came in, very humble guy, very super sweet. And we became the best friend of the world. And so this moment for me stay really in my mind, because I feel like life, when things can go wrong, can change the next day, and they always believe and giving me hope inside that life is never over. When you feel like you're down, there's always something that can happen if you're true to yourself once again.